Okay guys, Mike here. This is like take 42 on the remake of the Browning Medalist Bullseye pistols. We'll see how this goes. I was so disappointed with the first version of this video that the producer and the director both got fired. And then when I realized, of course, that I was the producer and the director, I had to renegotiate with myself over doing a better job. So we want to try and get a little more information in a lot less time. Let's see how we do. And what's this for? This is just here to remind me that I wanted to say that these two handguns were made in a time and a day and age when men still wore a hat to work. They smoked a pipe on their way home, and they worked usually in a factory on manual milling equipment. They're superseded these days by modern technology, and let's just take a look at them and we'll see what they have. This was the first version that was ever marketed, and it was just sold as the Browning Medalist competition grade Bullseye pistol. Okay, we're clear. Okay, these guns were almost always sold in the case, as you see. This one happened to be made in 1969, but I think they were made in the early 60s, and then they were discontinued shortly after 1969. These guns, unfortunately, were a marketing flop. They just didn't sell very well. They have become a boom for collectors, though, because they really are fun, unique pistols. And we'll just move through here quickly. We got the case, of course. We got the 50-round wooden loading block, which doesn't really look like Browning, but it came with the gun. A couple of keys for the case. And then this particular model had a removable Schnabel forend, which could be, once you removed that, you could install this on the bottom of the barrel. There was a dovetail cut for it. And once that was installed, you could then install the barrel weight, of your choice, and it would sit about right there. So in its current configuration, this firearm could be shot in 6 different weight configurations based on whether you were using the forend by itself, the barrel weight by itself, nothing, or the 3 different barrel weights. Let's get this box out of the way. Now this was the International Medalist. After this one was discontinued, they tried a second time, and they still flopped. The International Medalist was a little bit different. It was almost always sold with the padded case that you see here. Probably had some in boxes, but this is the most common. And the case was the most common for this model. Both of them have fully adjustable rear sight. Both of them have a slide lock. Both of them have a thumb activated safety, of course. They came with 10-shot magazine, which was pretty standard for the day. They're very well made. They're very expensive, but you don't need replacement very often because they really are well made. Both guns have a deflector pin installed on the right hand side for the brass to bounce off, which you don't generally see on most guns. The differences between these two pistols are this one has a 6 3/4 inch barrel. This one has a 6-inch barrel. This one, of course, has the forend and the capability of installing the under barrel weights. On this model, that option was discontinued. There's no forend and there's no provision for mounting the barrel weights. The third difference that you might not see, hold it up, is the width of the thumb rest. On the original, it was very large. On the international model, it was cut down quite a bit. Now, believe it or not, what I had learned from an old school guy that I knew many years was that he said they changed the barrel length in order to comply with new regulations for bullseye shooting at the time. And then they got rid of the forend and the barrel weights to cut down on the costs so that if it flopped again, their losses wouldn't be as bad as they were the first time around. And the crazy thing is, I was told that the reason the thumb rest was cut down was because the factory had an excess of shipping crates that only a narrower gun would fit into. So they decided to trim the grip down so it would fit an existing stockpile that they could use up. So these guns have one other unique feature that you don't find these days, and that is a dry fire mechanism designed into the gun. Right now, normal configuration, and it will fire if you pull the trigger. Safety on, and of course it won't fire. Now, in order to dry fire these guns safely, the manual says that you push forward on the safety and you'll see it click. So that looks like it. Nope. There we go. Now it's in dry firing status. So all you do is pull the trigger and then reset. Pull the trigger, reset. Pull the trigger, reset. The feedback that you get through the trigger is exactly the same as if it was going to fire. So you can get a lot of dry practice in with these guns. In order to remove it from the dry firing status is a little more difficult. They say you have to pull out and up and back, and it's very difficult sometimes. There we go. So now the safety will work properly. You'll need 2 screwdrivers to work on this gun if you want to take it apart and maintain it. You'll need a flat head that'll fit this screw right here so you can get the forend off. And then underneath there, on this model, you can see it, there's a larger flat head which is captive, so you can just loosen that, and then the barrel will just lift right off and the slide will slide off the front. Both guns have a 15 position adjustable trigger pull right here. And after you field strip it, directly on top of the inside there's another screw which will control the backlash. These guns were more than capable of winning Bullseye competitions in their day. However, it's unfortunate that they really weren't a marketing success. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much. Have a good day, everybody. Mike out.